started in Germany as a... We cut that out. Hi, welcome. Here's another chair, by the way. There's some things. Hi.
Where's the wine?
Oh, she meant us. Oh, really?
Hi, everybody.
Hi. When it comes to healing, integrative healing, and would like to invite you to have your own experience tonight. I have prepared a surprise, which includes that I'm surprised as well. You will see. And before we do that, we don't do that at the beginning. Deborah asked me already. I first want to say what was the journey and what lies behind the Willow System and that kind of work. So when I started to learn medicine in Germany, I was very enthusiastic at the beginning. And then when I was treating the clients, the patients, I found out they're not what they should be, because they're not like the patients in the book at all. So, bad patients. So I figured out, okay, you have to learn something else instead. You want to have a more holistic approach. You want to know more about deeper levels, other areas, not just the body, because I started with the body as a physical therapist. So I learned all the other things, and still it was not what was written in the book. So I sat down and analyzed it for myself, researched it for myself, and I figured out, and I'm very personal now and very honest, I figured out that our whole healing system, in my opinion, is way too linear. It's like a coffee machine thing. You put in coffee and water, and then you know what comes out. So we actually pretend in medicine, and I think in counseling and other things as well, that we human beings are predictable. And we're not. We're not predictable. And we're not at all a coffee machine. So that means I call it the medicine was too male. And I don't mean men with that. I think in this round you understand what I mean when I say male. It was like too much yang, too much linearity, too much logic. And when I was looking at the healing, and I tried these techniques with my clients, it was logical to do that. I give you examples, but it actually didn't make sense to do it. What we actually wanted, the real healing that comes from inside out, didn't take place. So I wanted to turn that around. I wanted to make medicine and providing a space for healing or for counseling, whatever you call it, I wanted to make it female. More yin energy. And I found a few things that I would like to share. One thing is, we're not linear, we're circular. That means we are like round circles, always about to develop ourselves, to change ourselves, to influence other people and to be influenced by other people, or by a book, or by a videotape, or whatever it is. That means the woman that I was yesterday, I'm not today anymore. And this is not a symptom. Even though some theories call that a symptom, it's not. That was the first thing. So look at us all, that we are human beings where you never know what comes out at the end, where it's circular. And the other thing was, treat everybody like an expert. Because what I found out, I think it's the same everywhere in medicine or in counseling, that when I'm the naturopathic doctor, which I am, so I'm considered to be an expert, which I am to a certain extent. But then I meet what they call in medicine my patient or my client, and then that makes the patient and client, I just choose you now, that makes the patient or the client a non-expert. Can you say that? And how can you connect somebody with something that heals them, with something that empowers them when they are not considered to be an expert as well. So that was the second thing. She's an expert when she comes to me in her own world. Nobody knows her so much how she knows her, because she's around 24 hours, every day, and that for years and years and years. And when I say she knows herself, I don't necessarily mean that this is always in the conscious mind. There is other knowing downstairs, even below the subconscious. Yeah, we will go into that tonight. Yeah. So to be treated like an expert and not like a symptom, not being diagnosed and put into a box, was the next journey. So that is the third key. Is that whenever I was learning something which was very good, don't misunderstand me, I don't want to come over like being judgmental. It didn't serve how it should serve. That was all. The information was perfect, was good. But it wasn't applied in a way that really respects the human body and how changeable we are. So the next thing is that you really customize it to whatever you do, to everybody, and you integrate everybody from the beginning into their own process. So that means I'm, as the other expert, I'm taking her by the hand literally, instead of giving her advice, because my advice might be right or wrong. And we find out together, it's like walking together a certain road. We didn't plan that, that's one of the surprises. Yeah. So what she didn't see while she was there in her own healing process, she might see now here, because she can look around the corner and she sees that this is actually a very nice bag that you could use.
And shoes.
And shoes.
See the shoes. Really nice.
Even shoes. Yeah, so it's a journey that we make together. Does that make sense so far?
I love it.
You love it?
Yes, I want to keep going with you.
Okay, good. So that's actually a good idea.
Okay.
So this is one thing. Yeah, I use you as an image, as a metaphor then. That's actually very nice. Thank you for offering.
Thank you for allowing me.
Yes. So, what else is important when we want to turn it around? I said that I had the impression that I learned all these things, yeah, and the clients, the patients, they had to fit into that boxes. So somehow I had to repair, to make her fit. Yeah, cut something off, rip something apart, so that she fits into that box. Let's call it. That's the emotional box. Yeah. Or she has pain in her wrist. Yeah, which she really had before. Oh, now you have to be put into that physical box somehow, and so on and so on. You understand? So it's again actually very contradictory to what we want to do in healing. In healing, what do we really want to do? I think everybody might have an individual idea. My idea was all the time that we connect and align everything that you are. That's something. Everything that you are. So it's not just the body, it's not that just the emotions, there's so much more. So why would we pull the patients apart, or even ourselves apart, when we don't fit into the box? Oh, yeah, maybe I'm too lazy, or maybe I'm too whatever. We have all these ideas about ourselves when when it's not successful. Yeah, instead of turning it around. It's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Turn it around. Make the boxes fit into her. Does that make sense? Very good. That means, again, it might not be logical what you do then with an individual, but it makes sense. So, what are we talking about? let's say Jenny comes to me as a client, yeah? And she has pain. So let's say she has this wrist pain, and she says, you know, Rita, I have this wrist pain because I worked so much. This is what you said before. May I use that? Okay. Whenever I say something, this is the wrist that was more. So, okay. So it doesn't matter at the end, right now. So for her, it's clear. She knows already why she has that. So I would always include her theory into her own healing process. And not just say, you know, I'm not interested what you have to say. How do you explain that? So you start to communicate in a certain way because they actually really know why they have the pain. And she knew I was massaging too much, you said, right? And so I could use that in the whole process. You know, I don't have to go somewhere else, you know, and think about something else that has nothing to do with her. Yeah, like give her a certain medication or do a certain treatment that I do with everybody else. No, I would tailor it to the fact that she's working on somebody. It makes a difference. Yeah. So that's one of the things. Talk to them and really listen and include the answers into the whole healing process, because they don't know that they actually already know. And this is where I'm the expert. I tell her, oh, that's interesting. So you say it comes from your massage. You did too much, you overdid it. That's interesting. So you already know. The next thing is that, you know, when we talk to each other, when we use certain communication skills to find out what we know without knowing that we know that, yeah, we take it further. Because you can only tell me what you know when it's in the conscious mind. But what about what I said? You should align when you want to have integrative healing. Everything that you are. That's actually a very big expectation, right? It's not a small one, it's a big one. So how do we get there? Good question.
Very good question.
You want to know how we get there? Of course you want to know.
Tell us, Rita.
Yes, stop asking. It's not Disneyland. Just go ahead. Sorry. Okay, so I use you now. If you don't want to be used anymore, you let me use me. Okay, we just do something. Hold these two together.
Okay.
Hold these two together. Hold these two together. Hold them together. Oh, this one. Okay. So, I use her body because her body saves. It contains about 70% water plus minus. Women mostly. We don't go into that. Where are you in your menstruation cycles right now? No, we don't go there. So plus minus, and water is an information carrier. So why don't we use that information carrier to get access to information? You're nodding. That makes it so simple. To information that is not necessarily in our conscious mind, but also gives us access to the subconscious mind, to the higher self, and there's even more. Yeah, I have so much more, I can't say everything, then our heads explode. So I just mention a little bit so that you get an idea, and I show you just a little bit. So this is one. Why not using everything that we are? The aura, everything. The higher self, the emotions, and so on. Then the other thing is, why not using all the levels that create suffering, but also healing? Why should we just use such a small amount? Like she comes with pain, why should I just look at her wrist, you know? It might have something to do with something else, yeah. Which is, there are 6 levels. 6 levels. I call them 5+1 actually, because the other one is a luxury level. So 5 is for the human being, you know, where we have to just cope with human stuff, and then we have a luxury one. Okay. Physical, emotional, energetic, mental, systemic, soul, and the level outside of time and space. And I'm not going into a spaceship right now. This is researched. I'll tell you later. So that are the 5+1 levels. You can name them totally differently. This is just how I named them from where I come from. Yeah, you can name them whatever you name them. Yeah, whatever serves you. So the body helps us to access all the levels, because the body is that playground where everything takes place, right? If the body doesn't do it, we don't do it. Somehow. Or not. If the body is frozen in the fear, fight, and flight pattern, we have anxiety and we don't know why, because there might not be anything that explains it. If the body is frozen in a past trauma, which is also a fear, fight, and flight pattern, we can have the best life in the present, but our body doesn't live it. There's still something else where we feel disconnected from being whole, disconnected from being healed. You know, and when I say that, I don't expect from you that you share this opinion. I'm just sharing what I think, you know. And I want to invite you to make up your own mind and to see, how do I see that actually? Yeah? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so let's go further.
Okay.
You thank me too soon. Wait a second and then you can thank me later. Okay. Okay. So, hold these two fingers together.
Okay.
Do you see that? Do you see that in the camera? You see that? But you don't see it, Nancy, what I'm doing? Maybe we should...
We can come closer. Or switch sides.
Is that better?
So she's trying to pull
So
my
it's
fingers
better.
apart.
Yes. That's how I am.
She's pulling my finger.
I'm sure I don't understand English enough for that. Okay. Say yes.
Yes.
Say no.
No.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Say, I'm a woman.
I'm a woman.
How do you look?
Awesome.
Okay. I'm
I'm a woman.
Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
Okay. I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm on Mars.
I'm on Mars.
Yeah. A lot of you might know this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I keep it very simple. When I really do it, I do it way more precise. Yeah. And way more accurate. But this would go too far here. I have to say that because I'm German. I have to say that I would do it more accurate. I can't believe it, you know. I have to say that. Can you believe it? That's the systemic level, by the way. We come to that later.
That's so funny and weird.
Weird? You are weird?
Well, that was weird because when you said, are you a man? I'm like, well, of course I'm not a man. And then I was like trying to really hold my fingers together.
Okay. But I have to be neutral.
I don't know why I tried.
Yeah,
Why she wanted me?
I'm like, you try
Okay, yeah. I'm open.
to be a man.
I
No, okay, good. You should try to hold it.
Okay.
So, say I wear trousers is British English now.
That's okay. I can wear
Trousers?
trousers. I wear trousers.
I wear trousers.
I wear trousers.
I wear a skirt.
I wear a skirt.
And so on. Yeah? Okay. She's very excited now. Okay, so her body is actually giving something a voice that didn't have a voice. Or maybe you are one of those, you know, I'm one of those. I sometimes hear that voices in my brain, you know, that tell me stuff. Okay, so this is another thing. But I really mean to give it a voice, what can't be expressed so clearly or so fast, so clearly, and so deep. Yeah? Okay. You ready for more?
Okay.
Very good. So I now want to ask you, would you allow me to make an access to your system?
Yes.
You know, to your higher self, into the lower self,
Yes.
and to the subconscious, and so on. You allow me.
I am choosing to allow you. Yes.
Okay. And again, I'm not so accurate. Okay. So I do it now 100%. Do I have 100% access? Give me 100% access.
Okay.
You have to give me.
Okay, I'm giving it to you.
Okay. Hold it.
Okay.
Do I have 100% access?
Yes.
So. A deep breath, let me plug in, you're safe. Do I have 100% access?
Yes.
Hold it together.
Okay.
Do I have 100% access?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Good. Are all your parts 100% connected to each other?
Yes.
You don't, yeah, you don't have to say that. I'm just checking. Yeah. So I do have 100% access to your system now.
Yes.
And you could see at the beginning, she said yes because she wanted it, but the rest of her needed more time to really give me access, because that's actually a big thing.
Yeah, it is.
Trust.
You know, there's somebody who plugs in, and we only do something here that really is okay in front of the group. We don't do what
Well,
we
you
would
picked
do.
the perfect person to do this.
Okay, good.
Leah knows.
Yeah.
Leslie knows.
I wish, yeah.
Okay, now we all know.
I know.
The world will.
She's not shy.
Okay, so I have access to her system. That means we're talking to all the parts now. And it is expressed through her body. Are you 100% neutral in front of all these people?
Yes.
No, I'm not asking you
Oh,
really. I'm
okay.
asking your system.
Okay.
And am I 100% neutral in front of all of those people?
Do you want me to do you?
both.
Should I test you?
I can test myself through you.
Awesome.
I'm using you. Okay, but I was honest about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So let us go further. Is the system 100% aware about this pain in the wrist, where this comes from? Yeah, about it. Of all the priority root causes for it? Is the system also 100% aware of all the priority solutions and what we should do as a priority here in this context in front of all these people? It is aware. So I'm now not asking you because you told me already. So you said that you think it comes from overdoing, overuse. Okay. So shall we go to the root causes first? Shall we go to the solutions right away? And this is how you go very fast. You know what you need to address first. That's another key. So we use more than the conscious mind. We use everything. And then we always go with the priority and not with the tiny little stuff. Because you might think that it's the biggest, but it's not. Yeah? Okay, does that make sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Okay. Are you still with us?
Yes.
Very good. She needs you.
I do.
Good? Okay. So, we should go to the root causes. You mentioned already a root cause that you overdid. Is the system aware of that? Is that it? Wait a second. Is that it? Is it something else? That's interesting. I did not expect that. I thought you were right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Because it makes sense. So it is something else. Is it one that's something else? More than one? Okay, something else. Does she know? Is it in her awareness? Is it in my awareness? We both don't know. So now we go into the unknown. The system knows. We have tested that. And this is where I have to be neutral as well, because when I want that it has to be what I have learned, yeah, then this will come up. Yeah, it's not. Are we allowed to test it here in front of the group? Okay, and you can always say stop when we hit something.
Okay.
Is it in the physical? Is it in the emotional energetic? Emotional energetic? Is it in the mental? systemic? Is it in the soul level, in the level beyond time and space? It's in the emotional energetic.
It's in all of them. I don't know.
What is it?
Well, when you open it, does that mean it is? Or
No,
it's
it's
no?
no. That's a
Oh,
no.
okay, good.
Wait, open is yes.
No.
I thought open is yes.
No, open is no.
Open is
So it's the emotional energetic. Is it more emotional? Is it more energetic? Okay, how do we find, does she know it now? Because if she knows, I would ask her. Does she know it now? No, I have no clue. She's like, the body talks. Yeah, no, I have no clue. So where do we find it then? Do we find it, there are three possibilities. Do we find it in the meridians? Do we find it in the aura? Do we find it in the chakras? We find it in the meridians. So let's see what it is.
Okay.
I test it, and when I turn it around now, because I test very fast, so I want to know when it's weak, then it's the right thing. I turn it around now to be faster. I tested the meridians. Sure, let's turn it around again. So a yes is again a strong muscle. Yes. So you would think that when it's in the meridians, it might be in a meridian that really goes there, because this would be linear. This would be logical.
No.
It's not.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's the kidney meridian.
Oh.
The kidney meridian is not going there, So it's the kidney meridian. So let me see what we need. So do you need to treat your kidney meridian? Do you need something else? Is it that you need to treat your kidney meridian, or does somebody needs to give you a treatment? You need to treat it. Is it the emotional point? Nere 21? I can only say it in German when it comes to numbers. Okay. Is it somewhere else? Okay, we all do it now. So this is an energetic thing. We could even go further, but not in this context, I just tell you. We could even go further and find out why it's the kidney meridian. What's really going, has she such a big expectation of herself so that it stresses the kidney meridian? Or does she, exhaust herself? Or does she has fears? That, and all these kind of things. So here we could really go very, very fast, very, very deep. Yeah, which I don't do in this context, but I want you to know that this can be identified, and then it might be that we hit a point that's really the need. Yeah. Okay. So you now treat the kidney meridian. I show you how we can all do it. Yeah, it's good for all of us. It's here, the point.
Is that the same place that you
This one?
Yeah.
This is the sinus. This is sinus, and this is the kidney. Very good. So let's test it again. Take a deep breath. Is the system aware how her kidney meridian is right now? Is it optimally treated in that context for now? Shall she do it more often? Yeah. So you can do that.
Okay.
With an affirmation, without affirmation. Without the affirmation, just do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is...
That's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Great.
It's
I
good.
love that
It feels
feeling.
good. Yeah.
It does feel good.
Yeah. So
I feel like Jane when I do that.
and you are Jenny already. So there's not so much. There's not such a big step between Jane and Jenny anymore. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So do you have questions so far? Before we go further.
Yes, I do. I have one.
You have questions, Britt?
You mentioned the 5 senses plus 1, and I was wondering where would the cerebral sense come into play with the 5 and 1 senses?
That's the mental.
It's mental. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Cerebral, you mean?
Yes.
I needed, cerebral.
I'll
I
say it
understand.
like that.
I sometimes have to ask you then. Cerebral.
Yeah.
Cerebral. Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's a very good question.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very good question. The cerebral can be physical level, because what I didn't show here That's actually. Do I have another guinea pig?
Me.
Can I borrow your seat? Can I take your seat?
Yes.
Okay.
I have another. So I do that first. Actually, I plan to do the
May
group.
I ground myself?
No, you don't. No? Just keep it like this.
Okay.
That might be even better.
Okay. No, that's the trick for the whole night.
That's already
Getting the blood in
cerebral.
there. Okay, in there.
That's already cerebral. Just to answer your question, what you do, that's already the balance. Okay, so cerebral can be the mind. Cerebral can be the emotions, because we have the limbic system there that saves all the emotions. Cerebral can be energetic. Cerebral can be systemic. That means that you have inherited, is the word, inherited something from your forefathers. Cerebral, and you don't know, but it's in your brain, and it's driving you crazy. And cerebral can even be the soul level, yeah. So the soul level for me means, and I don't want to push you into any of these beliefs, yeah, I just invite you. For me it is when you had past life stuff, like you had, and those of you who don't believe in past life, don't take it on. It's just fine. And for those who believe in past life, that's another opportunity to think about things. Let's keep it really flexible and individual, I really mean it. So when somebody had, you know, a shot, was shot into the brain, yeah, and died, sometimes there's still information there. So it can be on the soul level, and cerebral can also be on the luxury level, that's beyond time and space. That means that our DNA sends out, or creates wormholes. The Russians have researched that, through which we send out information and receive information. And it can be on that level, on the information level, that's beyond time and space. Does that answer your question so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. May I do that? May I take her?
Yes.
Is it okay for you?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, good. Maybe they're relieved that they don't have to. That's always the reason. Okay, let's look what it is. Yeah?
Okay.
And you say when you don't want it.
I will say stop when I
Yes,
don't want it.
that's what I mean.
Okay.
So cerebral, to answer your question.
So connected means yes, no.
We first do that.
Okay.
Do you see it? Say yes and hold these fingers together. Say no.
No.
And let me open it. And say no.
No.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
I'm a woman.
Yes.
Well, okay, that works as well. I'm a man.
No.
Oh no. Okay. My name is Britt.
Yes.
My name is Britt.
Yes.
My name is Rita.
No.
Okay, and so on. Yeah? So, do you allow me to have an access to your system?
Yes.
To all the levels, 100%? Are they 100% connected?
100.
Are they 100% aware? I make it very fast now, so that you don't have to wait. What means cerebral in Britt's case? Does it have something to do with her? Is it something that she has taken on? So it's her own stuff. So you are asking because of yourself. Sometimes it feels like ourselves, but it's not. We have taken it on. From the environment, from the forefathers, from a client, you know, in your whatever. Yeah? Okay, it's your own. May I test again?
Yes.
So, is the system aware on what level your cerebral needs to be looked at? If I did, we just do
Can you
as
say that
if.
again?
On which level we have to look, what cerebral means in your context. Does that make sense,
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Is it 1 level? 2? 3? Stay with me. 4 levels? More? So here we go.
Oh no.
Here we go. It looked like cerebral is clear. It's not clear at all. Do you understand? That's how you actually access what somebody needs to really enjoy integrative healing. You look, what's that in this specific case? No matter if you have back pain, if you have problems with your partner, yeah, if you can't sleep at night, if you have money issues, if you have a blockage for your career, or digestion problems, or whatever it is. No matter. Because it's mostly not how it looks like. So it's on 4 levels. We only test the levels. Yeah? Okay. Is it on the physical level? Okay, that's 1. Emotional, energetic. Is it on the mental? That's 2. Is it on the systemic? Is it on the soul? That's 3. And beyond time and space. Is it on another level? Okay, do we need the 4th level now? We just keep it with the 3? Yes, we just keep it with the 3. The 3, which one has priority? Is the system aware? Am I allowed to test that? Is it the physical that has priority? Is it the is it the mental it was? Or what was it?
Soul.
The soul. And what was the other one?
Mental.
The mental? Mental, Physical has absolute priority. Mental doesn't come. Again, physical. Is it her nervous system? Yes. In her case, we would have to look at the physical first. So let's say, and I just don't do that now really for you. I just say what happens a lot is, so that we don't make it so personal in front of everybody. A lot of people are frozen in the fear, fight, and flight pattern, and they don't know. A lot of people. So that means that, you know, you do something and you know, oh yeah, that makes totally sense. Now I know what to do. Yeah. Or you go to the massage and then you are relaxing and everything is good. Yeah, now it feels good. And then it happens that in the long run, your body doesn't do what you actually want it to do. It doesn't put it into action. You know, it goes back into pain, it goes back into the sabotage program, into the worry, and all this, you know, everything that we actually know. Do you know what I mean? So the emotional stuff, everything. And very often when we look harder, which is not a problem, we see that the mind has totally got it. Even my soul knows. I know my soul purpose now. Why am I still here and not there where I actually should be? That looks like as if I had constipation, but it's the body is frozen. Some sort of constipation, yeah. It's over constipation in every cell, yeah. The body is stuck, and I really mean it.
Yeah.
And you all know. We all know the body is stuck. I should actually do that, but my body can only do the surviving thing. The stress pattern, it doesn't know how to do it. Right? Right? May I test you?
May.
Okay. It's not so bad, you know. It's just, hold it here. I need your arm now. This is now very, very physical what we're doing. It's not this anymore, you know, where we work with everything that is. This is now really going into the physical. Yeah? Yes. Neurology, kinesiology, osteopathy, blah, 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 blah. All these pathies, you know, a lot of pathies. Yeah. Good. You stand on both?
Yes.
Good. Hold this here. I first want to see if your shoulder can do that. Yes, it can. So when she's frozen in the fear, fight, and flight pattern, she has a rotation freeze in her spine. Yes, she has. Do you mean it? Yes, she means it. Hold it again. Hold it. Wait a second. Maybe I should tell you. Hold it. No, she can't. It's off. It's like when the fuses are blown in the house. No light is burning. Your fuses no, really, it is like this. The nervous system is an electrical system. When our main fuse is blown, no light is burning. I call it actually nobody's at home. No, this is just a joke. It's a German joke. It's not very funny. Sorry. Okay, so we do something about it. Yes, I didn't say that. Of course, we do something about it. So this is another key. When you want to do integrative healing, you don't just tell your patient, yeah, you're sick and you have this, and that. Thank you. Now I feel way better. You do something about it immediately. Yeah? And integrate it really into the body. Otherwise, it's really, I would say too male, but I shouldn't say that. You never know who listens. Okay, so it's the other thing, you know, that we don't want anymore. Yeah? Okay, so you did that? Yes. So you just be yourself. Don't worry. It'll all be good. Now I do some stuff with her that I did with, where is she? Jenny, before, you know, when you were wondering what I was doing here. I'm now doing that with her spine. You wouldn't think that this is for her spine.
Right.
Hold it again and breathe. Hold it again.
Wow.
Now the other side. Hold it again. She has a double rotation, so her spine is rotated.
I have
Relax.
extended arms too.
What do you have?
Extended arms, just naturally. I don't know if that
Oh,
means
overextension.
overextended.
Let's test it. What that means.
Okay.
No, we'll do the cerebral first. We don't go further. Okay, so she has a rotation here. She has a double rotation there. Okay, let me see. Head straight. And hold it and breathe. This is still good. And hold it and breathe. Very good. Yeah? I test if she can hold her head. If not, she needs way too much energy in her what is it called? Neck?
Yes.
Neck. Yeah, in her neck. And then she has to hold it like this, you know, because actually her nervous system tells her, you know, you're losing your head. And then for years, you know, and we test that because it's really very often the case. Hold it.
I'm sure I have that one.
You have that one. And then we do something about it. We always do something about it. We never leave it like this.
So this is the adjustment.
This is the impulse for the nervous system. I tell your nervous system what to do. And then hold it again. Do you see that? The same for the pelvis. Put this finger into the ear. This is for the pelvis. And hold it. Okay. Your pelvis doesn't know, you know. Okay. So it's all right. Which is very sexy, but you know it doesn't serve us. Especially not when we have these high heels. We want to have thumbs. Okay. And other stuff. So put both fingers into the ears. And I tell your nervous system what to do. Are you okay? Okay. This one stays. And hold it. Do you see that? That's her pelvis. And then we have a funny one. Relax that. We have the atlas, which is the first vertebra. It holds the head. That's a funny one, gell, Clara? Okay, so your tongue out to the right side. We all do it. We all do it. So that she doesn't feel stupid, you know. And other side. Other side. Okay. This is why it works, because it's so stupid. Like your body says, why was I in this fear, fight, and flight mechanism all these years?
I do feel a little bit looser.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Let me check that
like,
first,
okay.
and then I ask you.
I feel like I can sway in a circular motion almost.
Yeah, you do that already.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tongue to the right. More. Come on. Come on. To the left. Very good. That's very strong. Okay. And now what? Yeah, now you can describe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to describe?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said you feel
I
looser.
felt, when you were speaking earlier when I was sitting, I felt
Yeah.
frozen. Like,
Yes.
really, I did. I didn't feel like I was comfortable enough to uncross my legs, even, you know, just being in an unfamiliar beginning around people. And now, after you worked on me, I feel like I can actually breathe into my stomach all the way
Yes.
through my diaphragm.
Yes.
And I'm not worried about, like, the pooch that might be showing or isn't showing. And I can stand, I actually feel like the floor is holding me up. I'm
Yeah,
not
you're
standing on the
grounded
floor.
more. Yes.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And we have never met before in this context, so I didn't tell her how you feel afterwards. Still, we have never met.
Never met her. It's a
That's what
California yes.
California, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've
that's
never
a
met
German yes.
Okay. Are we done?
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah, for that example,
you.
we're done. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I will.
So this is really fast. You know, it's like really putting the fuse back in, and then you have the functions in the house. Please, yeah.
So my question is, what do you call the technique that you're using, or the modality that you're using? What do you-
I call that part, I call all of it the Willow System, how we do it.
Even the hand, this hand, the yes
Okay,
and no and the hand.
so this is the body organization. The original version is NOT, and I've changed it because it took too long and it took
What
too
does
long.
NOT stand for?
Neural organization technique. This is from the O-ring test from Dr. Omura, and I don't know how he uses it. I have never asked, but I used it because it's so precise. It's so accurate. It's really a very accurate test because so many nerves go to the brain, and I use it for what I said. You know, I always use something that was there before, but just as an isolated thing, yeah, and integrated that into the Willow System. And the whole thing is called the Willow System. Why? Because the roots stand for the family. You know, when you do the systemic work more. The trunk stands for the body. The leaves for the emotional energetic. It's like the meridians, yeah. No, not leaves.
The branches.
You said branches, you said. Branches, yeah. The leaves stand for the mental. It stands for the mental. And it's always, you know, near water and around other areas. So it's always in an environment and interacts with the environment, which is the systemic. Isn't that beautiful? It's my favorite. And then the willow tree, I like this weeping willow. And then the branches come back and they build like a whole circle. Like it's incorporated, everything is incorporated. The soul, you know, everything that you are, and it interacts. So this is why it has to be called something. And the key is that you're really taking your own opinion back. And I think you could see that. You know, when you ask, what is cerebral? You know, yeah, that's a good question, what cerebral is. In this context, what does that really mean? In her case, it was the nervous system, which is really then the physical, yeah, the mind, and the soul, the soul, yeah. And then the fourth we don't know yet. It might be from something else, yeah, or not accessible right now because it's too intimate. So this gives you a totally different story, how you should approach and how you find out what is this person really, you know, what is really the root cause. Do we need it at all? Or shall we go to the solutions? But then what are the solutions? On what levels do we have to work? And then integrate it immediately. So you don't leave them in their pain, you know, neither in the physical pain, nor in the emotional pain, nor in the relationship pain. And I call it freedom from pain on all levels. This is what we figured out, huh? Freedom from pain on all levels. Yeah. And I know we have already the time. Leslie, may I ask you something? I wanted to give you all a surprise, but if it's too late, you just say it. I tell you the surprise.
Yeah.
I wanted that I test us as the group consciousness of the women that we are right now here. And if you don't want to participate, you don't need to. You know, it's not like, it's really very voluntold. No, it's very volunteering, you know. So it's free. No, not free. You don't say free here. It's like it's your decision. Yeah.
Optional.
I wanted to offer you an experiment. I call it experiment, but actually it's not. It's that everybody is actually included. So that I tap into the group consciousness together with you of us, and that we see what we, you know, when we put us all together, what we need right now for our healing. Would you like to do that?
Yes.
Okay. And don't feel forced because everybody says yes. So if there's somebody who doesn't want, you just step a little bit on the side. And I would say that even, you know, Elizabeth, you might plug in.
Should we turn this off?
Yeah?
Should we leave this running?
Yeah, you can leave it running.
Or would people feel more comfortable if we just turned it off now?
What do you think?
No, leave it running.
Yeah.
Running?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Do you want to participate as well?
Yeah, of course.
So and then we do it. No, I'm really
we'll
asking.
get in-
So
in
if
the
everybody
corner
wants to
there.
participate, yeah, I want to invite you that we make a circle. That's very feminine as well.
They want to make it physical circle.
A physical circle. And no, usually you wouldn't have to hold your hands. We could do that energetically, but I would like to. Because we don't know each other so much. I would like to.
Yeah. So if we want to go over, just so we can get all.
I think we're standing.
Oh, we're all standing.
I didn't know that either, by the way. That's the surprise already.
So everybody's in the circle.
Everybody's in the circle. Yeah.
Yeah, thank God I found my wine.
So, let's make sure that you all see me somehow, so that I'm really with you somehow. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. How could we actually, let me see. I thought once I'm here I will figure it out, how we could test the group.
Come in like a heart. Like just come in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
That's okay. Like we'll be me and you'd be like the heart.
You're like the
There we go.
cleavage.
I have very, I have this very, the German bosom. I have that. I don't show it, but I can't test it like this. Wait a second. I can't test it like this. Let me see. Maybe you two try to, let me see if this works, how I could use you two. But you don't grab, you just hold. Hold it together for a yes. You stay together. You stay together for a yes. You have to hold them.
All of us?
A little
No,
bit.
just them.
Stay together for a yes. That's it. Stay together for a no. Stay together for a yes. Oh yeah, that works. Is it okay for you when I'm doing this here? If not, you tell me. Stay together for a no again. A yes. A no. I want to make sure that I'm really pulling here. The same. Does it work? Okay. So let's do something. So let's be here in the first place, present. You don't have to do anything else but be you. Yes. And for me it's easier when I can look into your eyes, to be honest. That has something to do with this level beyond time and space and how our DNA gives us information. Very good. Okay. Say yes.
Yes.
Say no.
No.
Again. Hold one finger together. This one. Yeah, we will figure it out.
Oops.
Say yes.
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 Say no.
No.
And make sure that you give your yes and your no energy really into that. That's the other thing. I hope you all drank enough water, but we will figure it out. I'm a woman.
I'm a woman.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
Oh God, they will need something in. No, it'll be okay. Okay, I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm not here.
I'm not here.
Very good. Okay, so stay with me. I want to ask you if you give me the permission to plug into the group consciousness of us all in this context.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have 100% access to our group, including mine, to our group consciousness?
Yes.
No, I just tested. Okay, and then on all levels. On the physical, emotional, energetic, mental, on the systemic, soul, beyond time and space. Okay. So I do have 100% access to our system now. And you two, you are actually the voice. And I interpret this, I'm the dictionary. Body, English, with a German accent, and the other way around. Okay. It's the system. 100%. So our system is 100% aware. What we need most for our healing now. Yes. Is the system 100% aware what we should do in this context to find that out? Shall I test the levels first? Let me double check. Shall I do something else? Not so strong. Levels first. Something else. Oh, that's not so strong. Good. Okay. So, is what we need for our healing, is it in the physical level? It's a little bit weak. I watch you, then I see if it's a yes or a no. Is it in the emotional energetic? Is it in the mental? Not at all. Is it in the systemic? Is it in the soul? Is it in the level beyond time and space? So is it in the physical level? Is it in the emotional energetic? The emotional energetic was what was that?
There's a fly in my face.
Okay, so emotional energetic we need, yeah? We need the emotional energetic healing. Hey, you're coming right in the right minute.
Oh, good.
Okay, go underneath and just join them.
And
Just join them. You can't hear, but just join them and make yourself accessible. Let me double check. Is it really the emotional energetic level? Yes. And you just let us test your conscious, yeah, your subconscious and all your levels, everything that you are. Yeah. Let me see. Are we now testable like we were before? Okay, or do we need to prepare something? Okay, good. Emotional energetic came up. We need the emotional energetic. Do we need to heal an emotion? Do we need to heal an energy? It's actually the same, but it's more emotion. A very good finger. I wonder why. Okay.
I'm a good girl.
Yes. Okay. I didn't know it is. No, it's all good. It's all good. So emotion. Okay. Energy. Shall I test it through the meridians? Shall I test it through something else? Meridian. So let's do that again. Yeah. Okay. I need a meridian. I look at you, representative, but I don't mean you. I mean us all. I want that it is weak when the right meridian comes.
Are you thinking of the meridian?
Yeah, I'm going through it. I think I have it already. Turn it around. Strong muscle when it is that one. Is it something else? Both? Oh, 2 meridians? Do they have a similar priority? More than 2? 2. Okay. Actually, I have already 3 meridians. Let me see, what has priority? Is the system aware? Do we need 3 meridians? Do they all have priority? Okay, so let me double check. It's the liver, it's the, what's it called in English? Spleen, pancreas, and it's the pericardium. Something else? No, okay. So shall I say what the emotion is from what I know? Or shall we test it? From what I know. So we take the main emotions. Okay. So, okay, relax. Okay, so what we found out, the liver meridian has to do with anger, to allow, you know, the anger. Yeah? Okay. Let me double check. From your reaction, I want to see.
We're angry.
Because we're not.
Is that anger? Is it something else? No, it's something else.
Which way you want to go?
Is it aggression? Is it something else? It's even aggression. Because from your reaction, I felt that was not yet it. It was, yeah, you know, it's aggression. Yeah. So we need to use our aggression whenever it's appropriate, or we should suppress our aggression, or what should we do? Use it creatively. Aggression is nothing else but energy. It's the energy when you want liver meridian, when you visualize something, you have a goal, and you need the energy to achieve that goal, right? So aggression is something that helps us, right? Or not? Yes.
Helps me.
Very good. Shall we do that with an affirmation? Okay. And tap it. Something else? Something else? Not really. Okay. It's okay. We tap our liver meridian together. I love and accept
Where is
myself.
it exactly?
Right side.
Right
Right side.
Under the
Very small heart is within the thorax, behind. If it's bigger, it's bigger, but we should. It should be here. Yes, it should be here.
Mine's even a little sore.
I love and accept. I give you I give you just a suggestion for affirmation.
Okay.
If you want to join, you just do. If you don't feel like, you just don't. Yeah. I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Oh, you do. Okay. So even with my aggression.
Even with my aggression.
To the very deepest level of my heart.
To the very deepest level of my heart.
And from the very first moment.
And from the very first
When I
moment.
started to suppress this aggression.
When I started to suppress this aggression.
I love and accept my aggression now.
I love and accept my aggression now.
And I do something useful with it.
And I do something useful with it.
Take a deep breath.
Ooh, I'm buzzing.
That's good.
That is so needed.
Yeah.
Gosh, women in general, I feel like we always feel we have to suppress that.
Yeah.
And it's our power.
That's a commitment now, huh? Okay. More. Let's go to the. It is you. It is you.
Leslie, how do you really feel?
It's the best thing. You know, I couldn't have picked a better finger myself.
I think it's a good metaphor.
Appropriate.
Metaphor. What was the next? The next was the spleen and pancreas meridian. Yeah. Okay. So shall we do that next? Okay. Spleen pancreas. Is it? Let me test the emotion that comes with it. Is it a lack of self-confidence? Is it lack of self-esteem? Lack of self-worthiness? All of it. Something else? That's enough. Okay. Okay. No, I'll tell you something that you have never heard before. So it's a lack of self-esteem that we want to heal, lack of self-confidence and self-worthiness. Okay, sounds good, huh?
I have a question.
Yes.
So I think that it seems like this is taking the mean, you know, the average. Like there could be
Yes.
some people, like I feel like I'm low down on the self-esteem thing, and there could be someone higher up. But
Yes.
this is the average.
It's the average.
Okay. Okay.
Great question.
Thank you, Olivia.
Very good.
That's a good question.
Oh, I thought you didn't know. No, you didn't know, or didn't you know? That is
They
the
clarified
average.
it, yes.
Yes, it's the average. So when you take a sum of all of us together, you know, and then you
This just
divide
isn't a typical math class.
No.
That's why.
it's not so logical,
I've
but it
never
makes
done this
sense.
in
Yeah. Okay. No, it's the average. Yeah. So some of you might think, that's not my problem. Neither with the aggression nor with the self-worthiness. And I don't have problems to charge that much money for my service, or whatever you think, you know. And some of you might think, oh yeah, that's totally me. And what we build together, the sum of us, you know, the core that we actually leave then in the middle. This is what we're testing. Yeah? And you just take out what you need. You came just in time. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I tested already the self-esteem. Shall we do it with the affirmation? Without? I don't want to stress you too much. Okay, so left side here.
You could be able to use your fingers.
Left side underneath here. There's a point. Yes. Where the bra is.
Or if you're Jenny, no bra.
Or no bra, where a bra would be if you had one. Okay, so it's like good. So let's do the affirmation. That looks good. I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Even with my lack of self-esteem.
Even with my lack of self-esteem.
Self-worthiness.
Self-worthiness.
Self-confidence.
And self-confidence.
To the deepest level of my heart.
To the deepest level of my heart.
And from the very first moment when I started to do that.
And from the very first moment when I started to do that.
Yes. I accept my lack of self-confidence.
I accept my lack of self-confidence.
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
Self-worthiness.
Self-worthiness.
Now. And I let it go.
And I let it go.
Now.
Now.
And invite. A healthy self-esteem.
A healthy self-esteem.
A goddess confidence.
A goddess confidence.
And a queen consciousness.
And a queen consciousness.
I take my place on my throne.
I take my place on my throne.
Take a deep breath.
I just have to say, it reminded me of in the 80s or the 90s, the deodorant commercial.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if That's right. It was actually, that's right. That's right.
We didn't have deodorant. But we had self-confidence. Okay, how do you feel? Good. Okay, one more. One more. What was it? Oh, it was the pericard. The pericard is the protector of the heart.
The what?
What's protector? Pericardium?
Pericardium.
Yeah.
Pericardium.
What do you say in English?
Pericardium.
You say the whole word? Oh, the Latin version. Oh my God, we are so sophisticated. Very good. We talk about the same thing. So, the pericardium is the protector of the heart. And sometimes it forgets to protect the heart, and sometimes it protects our heart so much that we can't breathe anymore. And even from the good stuff, right? Okay. You don't want that? No. Okay, let's see what we really need here. Is the system aware? Is it to protect the heart in an optimal way, so that the good stuff can come in, and the hurt can be let go appropriately? Is it something else? Let me see. Is it something else? Is that optimal? Is there a better version that would be more optimal? Okay, let's take that then. So the idea is that it's protected, but not from the good stuff. So that it lets in what is good for the heart. It knows. And that it keeps away what's not good. It knows. Yeah. And at the same time, whatever wants to leave, because it's past and you're ready to let it go now, why should you keep it? And it knows that as well, and it lets that go, like a filter. Yeah, an optimal filter. There might be a better word. That's a very technical word. You like that?
Yeah.
Very good. So let's use it. Okay, the filter of the heart. Yeah.
The optimal filter of
The optimal filter. I like the word optimal. It is so big. Yeah. The optimal filter of the heart. Okay. Now we all need to do this. The nice things and the bad things.
We get to play with our middle finger?
Yes.
What? No such thing.
We're repurposing it.
Whatever. You can use it for whatever you need to clear that. Okay. I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Even with the hurt in my heart.
Even with the hurt in my heart.
And the overprotection of my pericardium.
And the overprotection of my pericardium.
It did a good job.
It did a good job.
Now it has to do a job that's easier.
Now it has to do a job that's easier.
Okay. So I love and accept my pericardium.
I love and accept my pericardium.
And I want to reprogram it now.
Reprogram it now.
Into a super filter.
Into a super filter.
That's optimal.
That's optimal.
For my throne.
For my throne.
My goddess consciousness. And my awareness as a queen.
And my awareness as a queen.
So it only lets in what really heals me.
It only lets in what really heals me.
What protects me from inside out.
What protects me from inside out.
You understand?
Yeah.
And it lets go now.
And lets go now.
What can go the hurt of the past.
What can go the hurt of the past.
Okay. Yes. Good. So take a deep breath. That was it.
Yeah, mine were a little
And see how you feel. I did that on purpose because it also does something with your nervous system. This is simpler, but it doesn't include your nervous system so much. Yeah. Okay, good. How do you feel so far?
Good.
Good. So this is what you can take with you.
Thank you.
If you have,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Thank
Welcome. Thank you. And if you have more questions, I would like.